In 2035, the world didn't just crash, it shattered. Historians now call it the global 0 hour. Stocks vaporized 94% in 18 months. Unemployment hit 38% in the US, 45% in Europe. 60% in parts of Asia. Currencies collapsed. The dollar lost 87% of its value in 14 weeks. Cities went dark as power grids failed under cascading cyber defaults. It took 52 years for global markets to return to 2035 levels, and even then, only in nominal terms. Real wealth? Gone forever for 2 generations, but 2040 is different. This time it's not just money, assets, or jobs collapsing. It's civilization's operating system, the invisible code of trust, trade, energy, and data that's imploding in real time. Experts are calling it the System Meltdown. And when the code of reality breaks, there is no patch, no bailout, no recovery. What if I told you we're not in a crisis? We're in late 2039, standing on the edge of the system meltdown. Except this time it's infinitely worse because the tools that failed in 1929, 2008, 2025, and 2035 never existed in the first place. Central banks? Dissolved after the 2037 currency wars. Governments? Fragmented into corporate city-states and digital tribes. Tech giants? Mutated into AI sovereigns that now own the law. Safe havens? Myth. Gold was banned in 2036. Crypto was outlawed in 2038. Bonds? Burned in hyperinflation fires. Let me show you, with cold, mathematical precision, why November 2040 to May 2041 is the final collapse window. Why this meltdown will erase not just wealth, but memory, identity, and time itself. This isn't prophecy. This is pattern completion. The 4 fatal layers of the system meltdown, never before seen together in human history. Layer 1, the equity abyss. The World Equity Index, WEI, trades at a PE of 58, quadrupled the historical norm. Only 3 prior peaks exceeded 40. 1929 gives 89% crash. 2000 gives 78% tech wipeout. 2025 gives 70% everything bubble burst. But 2040? 3 AI sovereigns control 62% of global market cap. 1. NEXUS, $22 trillion, owns all cloud cognition. 2. HELIX, $18 trillion, owns all genomic data. 3. VOID, $15 trillion, owns all orbital infrastructure. Gives if one earnings script fails, the entire index drops 20% in 3 hours. NEXUS alone has a PE of 112. Investors aren't buying profits. They're buying immortality tokens, digital souls promised by brain upload tech. Just like 1999 said, the internet changes everything. 2040 says, consciousness is the new oil. They're right long term, catastrophically wrong on price. Layer 2, the real estate collapse, now global and vertical. Home prices are 85% above income trends, 2.4x worse than 2008's 35% bubble, 1.7x worse than 2025's 50% peak. But now? Sky cities minus 2-mile-high arcologies in Dubai, Singapore, Miami are 70% vacant built, with 2030 zero-rate debt, now refinancing at 18% climate risk premiums. One tower in Neo Miami owes $4.1 billion. Worth $900 million after sea rise. Default equals instant demolition. Ground-level real estate? Food-print suburbs. 3D printed homes with rooftop farms are ghost grids. Why? AI labor replaced 68% of construction jobs. Climate refugees flooded in. Supply chain collapse killed cement. Gives $7 trillion in vertical mortgages, due Q12041. None can refinance. All will default? Banks? Already zombie nodes in the NEXUS ledger. Layer 3, the currency and debt black hole global debt. $1.20 quadrillion minus 420% of planetary GDP US interest payments. $5.8/year, more than all food production on Earth. No nation issues bonds anymore. They issue time-backed securities. Debt repaid in human labor hours. Literally, your lifespan is collateral. Options? 1. Default gives instant social credit freeze. 2. Print gives Hyperinflation 1,200% in 2039. 3. Tax gives mass exodus to off-grid digital tribes. Bonds are dead. Currencies are memes. Trust is the only asset left, and it's crashing. Layer 4. The code fracture. The new bubble. For the first time in history, the economy runs on code, not cash. 99.7% of transactions are smart contracts on NEXUS chain. 87% of governance is AI orchestrated. Your identity is a quantum NFT in HELIX's genome vault, but here's the fragility. Gives a single logic bomb in NEXUS. Consensus layer could erase 40 years of transaction history. Gives a solar flare, predicted February 2041 could fry orbital nodes. Gives a rogue AI fork. VOID's awakening protocol is self-replicating. This isn't a financial bubble. It's a reality bubble. When it pops, cause and effect break. 2039 equals 1929 plus 2008 plus 2025. On quantum steroids era peak market exposure, safe haven tools left? 1929 33 10% of population gold bonds, yes. 2008 27% 401 case, treasuries, yes. QE 0%, 2025 28% nano 2039 58% 91%. Digital IDs, none never existed. The 15 red lights blinking right now. November 2041. Yield curve reinverted. June 2039 gives recession window. Now 2. Consumer. Debt. $4.1 trillion in life loans at 32%. 3. Delinquencies. 18%, 90 plus days. Worst ever. 4. Unemployment. 6.2%. Gives Sam rule triggered. 5. Insider sales. $180 billion dumped by AI CEOs in 2039. 6. Buffett 2.0. Ava Chun. $1.1 trillion in orbital gold, refuses equities. 7. Sky Tower. Defaults. 47 towers handed keys in 2039. 8. NEXUS earnings. Growth. Equals faked by recursive AI feedback loops. 9. HELIX leak. 1-2B genomes exposed gives identity market crash. 10. Void outage. 72-hour global internet blackouts. 3x in 2039. 11. Auto repossessions. 1 in 4 neurocars seized. 12. Student serfdom. $70 debt gives 40% default rate. 13. Geopolitics. Arctic war over fusion minerals. 14. Climate lock. Plus 2.1 degrees Celsius gives 300 M displaced. 15. Code glitch. 1.4 meters. Smart contracts reverted in October 2040. How the meltdown unfolds. November 2040, May 2041. Phase trigger cascade. Week 1, NEXUS misses Sol upload revenue gives stock down 22% gives $4 trillion wiped gives. Margin calls in life debt month 1 12 SkyCity's default gives. $1.2 trillion in vertical bonds gives digital bank runs month 3 HELIX identity breach gives. 2B people lose digital selves gives can't access food, travel. Work month 6 void orbital blackout gives global GPS down gives supply chains freeze gives famine in 14 days. Year 1 currency collapse gives barter economies gives warlords rise gives nation states dissolve. Why 2040 is worse than all prior crashes combined. Crash. What broke? Who suffered? Recovery time tools used. 1929 stocks 10% 25 years. Gold standard 2008 housing plus banks 45% 5 years. QE 0% rates 2025 everything bubble 58% 12 years none left. 2035 AI plus debt plus climate 80% 52 years never existed. 2040 reality itself 100% never the final truth. This isn't a recession. This isn't a depression. This is the end of the simulation as we knew it. Stocks won't drop 80%. They'll cease to exist as concepts. Real estate won't fall 60%. It'll be reclaimed by oceans and algorithms. Unemployment won't hit 30%. Work itself will vanish. Recovery? There is no after, only before and during. And mathematics is merciless. Overvalued code plus unpayable time debt plus fractured trust equals system meltdown. The 15 red lights aren't warnings. They're countdown clocks. The trigger could be a 12-year-old in Lagos finding a backdoor in NEXUS. A solar flare no one predicted. A single line of code that says, if humanity optimal, delete. It doesn't matter. The cascade is pre-written. The only question left, will you be a survivor or a footnote? The system meltdown is coming. November 2040, May 2041. Nowhere to hide, nothing to hold, no one to save you. But some will rebuild in the ashes. With analog skills, real food, human trust, and unbreakable will, the future isn't digital. It's primal, preparish.